And welcome back aboard the Night Bus. Magical transport for a stranded witch or wizard. I shall be Corey.
Are we going to leave the muggles out this time, huh?
I have the last couple times. Ever since we had that conversation about muggles not being able to, summon the Night Bus.
Oh, wait, no. You after that conversation, you added on as long as they was with a wizard.
I just dropped that part. We don't care about muggles.
Well, I mean,
it's a muggle-free podcast.
Mm-hmm. No muggles allowed.
No muggles allowed on the bus. They can listen. They just ain't allowed on the bus.
Right. This is their little insight into the wizarding world. This is as close as they get.
Well, I'm Jamie.
I'm Jackie.
And we're here to break down the first episode of Season 2 of House of the Dragon.
I honestly had no idea exactly what we were going to be doing.
We knew this part. We don't know what we're doing after this. So even we don't know where this conversation is going to go when we're done.
I have no idea what we're doing tonight. Don't know.
But we'll see where the conversation takes us.
We'll wing it.
Yep.
Like always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We never pre-plan anything. We did at first.
Roughly. Just a rough outline usually.
Yep.
That we talk about on Thursday.
Exactly. It's like Thursday morning, we're like, all right, time to start planning for the podcast we're doing Friday night.
Yeah.
Anyway, as usual, though, we've got a variant of opinions on the episode. Seems like every week we come here to talk about something, which is a good thing. We're never universally agreed upon that was great or that was bad. It's almost always mixed.
Yeah, there's a mixed review of it. Me personally, it was okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't spectacular. It wasn't like, oh God, I can't stand watching this. It was just okay.
I liked it. I definitely don't think it was spectacular. I love the opening scene, and I'll let Jamie have the floor in a minute about that.
I love the opening scene.
Well, I'm going to let you get to.
I love the whole episode, honestly.
Yeah, but I liked the episode. I thought it was pretty good. But I love the opening scene, and then Jamie,
hey,
the opening scene, you liked it, but
dude, anytime they go north, that's the story I want. Everything at King's Landing, that's interesting, but anytime they go north, that's what I really like. So, and I told you about this, man. It opens up. They're in the north. The
people of Winterfell are drawing
Prince, not the prince. The strong Targaryen, whatever his name is.
Jacaerys is his name, but everybody calls him Jace.
Anywho, he flies north. Talk to the Lord of Winterfell. Don't know his name either.
Cregan Stark.
Cregan, okay. The Stark of that time. He's packing ice. Got the sword. Got the great sword on his back.
He's also just as young as Jace.
Yeah, I was looking at that. I was like, man, both of them are still kids.
Well, man, if you look back on when they showed Ned young during the war, I mean, he was at least that age there.
Oh yeah. But and it mentions in the book. It doesn't mention in the show. The book gives you a little more backstory on Winterfell and stuff. But the reason Cregan Stark is the Lord of Winterfell now, and he's only like 15 or 16 in the book, is because his actually I can't remember if the previous Lord of Winterfell was his dad or his uncle, but anyway, they actually had to go north to the Wall to fight off a rebellion of wildlings, and he ended up getting killed in the battle. So that's why Cregan is the Lord of Winterfell now. And actually in the book, it's kind of a thing of contention because they kind of blame the Targaryens for not sending people to help with the issue on the Wall.
What's interesting during this one is they're doing the lot. And they explain that, what is it, every 10?
1 in every 10 men
it gets picked to go to the Wall to reinforce the manpower at the Wall.
Yeah, it's not like it is in Game of Thrones where it's simply just all your bad people get sent to the Wall.
Hundreds, 100 or plus years have passed in between the two. So
yeah,
but at least back then during this story, the Wall's still very important to the North.
Yes,
and to Cregan Stark.
Oh yeah,
because they go to the top of the Wall, and he's talking about he can't spare men because he's got to reinforce the numbers at the Wall. He said that is his primary responsibility.
Yeah.
Which is great, man. I'm loving every bit of this, Like I said, anything to do with the North, anything to do with the Wall and the Starks, that's my favorite parts of the story anyway. So they're standing on top of the wall. You got the Targaryen prince and the Lord of Winterfell. And just awesome, man. They're talking about the wall. They talk a little history about when Aegon the Conqueror came and they brought the dragons up to the north, and the dragons would not fly over the wall. And that's when the shadow fell, man. And that's when I remembered, oh, yeah, this ain't going anywhere. This is a dead story. But I still enjoyed it. In fact, I watched it again tonight.
Oh, yeah, I love this opening scene. Just everything you just described, I loved it. And I never put a single thought toward what happens in the end of Game of Thrones with the wall and all that stuff. I never put a thought to it.
I've talked to 2 other people already that felt the same way I did before I ever mentioned. I mean, it's just...
Oh, yeah.
There's still that shadow of the end of Game of Thrones. It was just a big letdown. But, like I said, that scene, the whole setup, I really enjoyed it. But when it got to that part, and they're talking about the dragons that wouldn't fly over, and Cregan Stark makes the comment, and he tells the young prince, he says, do you really think that my ancestors built a 700-foot wall of ice to defend against wildlings and bad weather?
Yeah.
And
I love that. That was such a good comment.
That's a foreshadowing of what's out there, but then again, we know what's out there, and so that was another little bit of a letdown. Unless there's some more story to tell there. We can only hope.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, considering this is set back 100 years, something else might go on that wasn't brought up in the regular games.
What he's getting at is they supposedly are working on a Jon Snow sequel series. Ew. And it'll be Jon Snow's adventures north of the wall. No, not you, Siri. Go away. But yeah, supposedly they're working on a Jon Snow sequel show that will take place, after the events of Game of Thrones, after, Jon Snow's been banished beyond the wall.
Yeah.
Because the end of Game of Thrones was so great. Yeah. Good God.
Like I said, overall, I enjoyed the whole episode, but that's my favorite segment. The stuff that's happening in King's Landing with the Targaryens and the black and the green and all that. It's interesting, but anytime you get me north, that's the story I like the best.
Exactly, and that's the, in my opinion, the absolute biggest mistake they made with the ending of Game of Thrones. They made it so that the battle north was not the final battle. The final battle for the series was at King's Landing.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have been that way. The most important thing going on should have been fighting off the Night King, not let's hurry up and beat the Night King in an episode.
So we can get down
focus
on
everything else
and wrap everything up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On Daenerys taking the throne and then melting it down and then getting stabbed. Stupid.
Yeah, what he said.
I just summarized it very quickly, but we've already been over this. Everybody knows. It's not like it's news to anybody in the world.
But the the mythology around the wall and the North is that's the story I like the most. I like what's happening with what's happening in King's Landing and everything.
Yeah,
but
and Dragonstone.
I just take me north, man. Give me that story. Of course, no spoilers. But the North will be coming south soon.
Yeah.
So that should be interesting.
Well, I mean, it mentioned in this episode, so it's not really a spoiler that, Cregan Stark is sending 2,000 of his grizzled old soldiers.
Yeah, but this is grizzled old northern soldiers.
Yeah.
So,
who are more than willing to fight.
Oh, yeah. You get like a really, really good description of them in the book where it says, these are 2,000 Northmen all on horseback.
I mean,
which that's another thing. A lot of these, lords are sending men, but they're not on horseback. These are all horsebacked men that have been in battle before.
Yeah, these are veterans.
Yeah. Now, they may be old, but they've been to battle before, and this...
Hey, man, we're talking Northmen here, man.
Yeah.
I mean, the most intimidating Northerner we saw was a 13-year-old girl.
Oh, yeah. From Bear Isle.
Yeah. Lady Lyanna Mormont was
just
vicious, man.
She's the type of lady that doesn't have a very long lifespan, but she gets the most out of her life.
Oh, yeah.
And she was definitely in charge. And
Yes.
the Bear Island was her island.
Which I thought was weird when they have a little kid telling grown people what to do.
They're in the line of succession. I mean,
Yeah.
royal blood
how it
is what sets the
I
throne.
know how it works. It's just a simple fact that
it's crazy, but that's the way it is, man. That's how you end up with, I guess, so many young lords in the story.
Oh, yeah. And that's something that, they can't portray it on TV. It's like, it's hard to do. But basically in the Game of Thrones books and now in House of the Dragon books, all these characters are younger than what you think they are.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it was with Game of Thrones, and that's kind of how it is with this show. Whereas, again, I can't remember the exact ages. But in the book, like Jacaerys, basically when we see him in this, when he's north with Craig Stark, him and Craig both are like 15 or 16 years old.
Yeah. Yeah, very young.
So then, I think, Aemond is like 18 or 19 at this point. In again, they don't mention ages in the show, but in the book, he's like 18 or 19 at this point. And Aegon is like 22, 23, 24. He's a good bit older than everybody, so.
Doesn't act like it, though.
No, Aemond.
No.
It's that way in the book. He's just. He acts a lot like who was the king at the beginning of Game of Thrones? Ned's best friend.
Robert?
Yeah, Robert. He's a lot like Robert when Robert was older. Mm. He's just doing it when he's young. All he cares about is drinking and women.
Well, yeah, he's not really wanting to be king, but no, honestly, when they had to come before him, some of the decisions he's made, does he seem to be a terribly bad king to you? He's irresponsible, yeah.
He doesn't. He's trying to be good to the people.
Yeah,
I give him that, and that's something like in the book you never get any insight into how he actually was as a king.
So he's not coming off as this this spoiled brat
dictator thing,
Joffrey type,
Oh
yeah, he's definitely not Joffrey.
You come to him and he's trying to help these people.
Yeah, he just doesn't understand. Kind of like, and I don't like
the hand
Otto Hightower at all. But Otto is trying to explain to him you can't just give everybody everything.
There's some heavy foreshadowing in how he's dealing with his son too.
Oh yeah,
he comes to the nursery to get him, to take him to the council. You get the impression he's very much attached. He's the doting father. He seems to be.
They had to put that in there to make you.
Yeah, to get the feels out of you for later. Yeah, I get it. But
if they don't do that, then what happens at the end of the episode, you're not going to care because you're like, I don't care. Who's that character?
I still didn't care.
To be fair, most people don't.
Well, it sets up the emotional thing, And remember, this is canon. This is the definitive story.
Oh, yeah.
According to George.
Yeah. I'm not going to jump ahead yet, but I wish they'd have been a little more kind of graphic with the end.
Well, I mean,
but maybe not graphic, but more. It should have been a little more brutal. It was, God, that was a brutal part in the book. Like, just absolutely the most messed up thing you'll read in a long time.
I've read some messed up stuff.
Yeah.
Yes,
this probably don't compare to that. But
yes, you have.
For most people, if you read Fire and Blood, that's a super messed up scene. But it has to be for, kind of what's going on.
Yeah, for the impact.
Yeah.
But we haven't got there yet. So, what are you going to say?
What do you think? Oh, go ahead, because you're trying to keep on a roll. I
was just going to go to the next kind of important scene we see in the show, or at least for most people it probably won't be important. For me it was, because it gets at something I mentioned last week. But, after the Winterfell scene, it cuts to Rhaenys getting off her dragon and having her conversation with Daemon, and that kind of is what it is. But then after that, it cuts to Corlys Velaryon, the sea snake, with his little walking cane because he's still, healing up from his illness where he almost died. And, he goes to the shipyard and, they're repairing his ship. And you see the guy he talks to.
The one who pulled him from the ocean.
Yeah, him. I have a feeling that's going to be the character I was telling you guys about last week, that in the book was supposedly like a bastard son of his that becomes a dragon rider.
Possibly.
Now, I don't think they're clearly not going the route that he's a bastard son. At least I don't think they are. Of course, Valerian, but I think he's going to be the one that is one of the people that ends up being able to ride a dragon when they have to find more dragon riders and they start just letting people try.
Now, let me ask you this. You both watched it. Corlys Valerian, is that the same actor who was in the first season?
Yeah.
Is it? Okay,
oh, yeah.
Because he looks a lot different to me, I thought. But
no, that's definitely the exact same actor.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good actor, too. He plays that role excellent.
Just didn't look quite the same to me. Of course, I mean, it's been a while since I watched
I would assume they're probably making him look a little different because, he's still getting over an illness. He almost died.
Yeah.
So he's not going to look the same.
See, when you went right past the scene where, I think, what's his name, Damon?
Damon and Rhaenys. Yeah, that's the scene I just skipped right over.
Yeah. Season 1, I was like, At first when I saw Damon, I was like, oh, he's just a little punk. Then later on through, I was like, oh, I kind of like him. But at the end of the last season and the beginning of this one, you can tell he does not like the fact that he doesn't control anything. He's not king. He ain't this. He tries to order.
He's always
people.
been kind of bitter, probably, about not getting the throne.
Yeah, but he tries to boss people around, knowing that he can't.
That's the thing is, Damon has never wanted to be king, but he's always loved power. It says that in the book a lot.
Well, in the book it might say it, but in the movies he was wanting to be king.
Yeah, I don't think he ever wanted to really be king, but he wanted power. He loves power. It says in the book he loves power. He never wanted the responsibility that a king has, but he wanted all the power that a king gets. Which is why it actually worked out so well for him when his brother was king. Because it's like his brother's got to deal with all the headaches of being king while he gets all the benefits. And his brother basically, would give him anything he wanted. Damon would take it a little too far. And his brother would, banish him.
And then bring him back.
And then bring him right back. And then banish him and bring him right back. In the book, it mentions that, I think Damon got banished like 3 or 4 different times. But his brother would always bring him back after 6 months. But like I said, it also mentioned in the book that he never wanted to be king, but he always wanted power. So,
yeah, but you can tell from what I remember watching of it, there's a part of him he wants that crown. They
made it seem like that in the show. I will say that
it's like he wants that crown, and when his wife gets crowned, supposed to be queen and everything, you can tell by the way he was looking at that crown and stuff that he didn't like the fact that she had it on and not him.
Mm.
And then he tries to go behind her back and do a bunch of stuff, and some won't let her. He said, my mom told me that nobody is to act until she says so.
Yeah, and he does. He hates that part.
Yeah.
Again, because Damon likes power. He likes control.
And he had to give it up.
Yeah. So the fact that he's got technically, it's weird. It's like Jacaerys is his nephew and his stepson all at the same time because Targaryens are Targaryens, and that makes all that very confusing. So yeah, he does not like taking orders from a kid. He don't like taking orders from anybody, much less a kid.
Oh, exactly.
The only person he is willing to take orders from was his brother and Rhaenyra. And even then, he doesn't like taking orders from them, but he does.
Later on, you find that out.
But after the scene at the shipyard, the Valerian shipyard, then you go and we finally get to King's Landing for the first time. And that's when you see all the high tower banners and everything. Even though the Targaryens are, kings, it's basically, the
high towers.
The country is run by the high towers. And that's when you get to see the embattlements and you see the scorpions, the huge crossbows. And how they didn't recognize that dragon coming, how they didn't recognize it was Vhagar, I'll never know. Vhagar stands out among every other dragon. Vhagar stands out because he's just so much bigger than every other dragon and so much more battle scarred that they just, you hear them yell, dragon, and they're trying to get the thing turned around. It's like, that's clearly Vhagar, guys. I could see that right off the bat. And that's not like a scene from the book that I already knew. That was clearly Vhagar.
Yeah, but you got to look at it the way they are.
All they see is a freaking dragon coming.
They see a dragon coming, and they're expecting battle. They're
Oh,
expecting,
it's definitely good. That that means the men are on their toes and
Yeah,
they're ready. But that was clearly Vagar. So yeah, you get that, and that's just a short little scene. But still, I didn't mind that scene either. You get to see kind of like, we're kind of like in the thralls of war now. It's, after the end of season 1, you expect dragons and violence at any time.
Oh yeah, and that's
And-
what they're expecting.
Yeah, both sides are ready for it. You had the scene that I kind of skipped over with Rhaenys. She's patrolling the seas, and the blockade they got set up on her dragon
Yeah.
for like hours at a time.
Yeah, Damon tried to get her to go back out with him to go somewhere, and she said, "You're not the queen," and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Well, the queen's not here." He said, "Well, that's because she's out." We went right past that. She's out looking for her son.
Yeah.
What's left of him.
Yep. And Rhaenys knows all about this because she lost both her kids,
Yeah.
and Damon was involved in both cases.
True.
He didn't kill either of them, as we know.
No,
But
no.
she doesn't know that. Rhaenys doesn't know
No,
that.
he just murdered some innocent guy in a hallway
Yeah.
to burn the body and make it look like her son.
Yeah.
Yep.
Spoiler if you haven't seen season 1.
Well, I mean, we're talking about season 2, so if
Right.
you ain't seen season 1, we've done spoiled a lot more than that.
Spoiled everything for him.
Spoilers.
Yeah. But after the scene on top of the walls of King's Landing, then we get to see King Aegon II, going to try to find his son, because he wants to take his son with him to his 6-year-old son with him to a council meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he could learn how to rule.
Yeah, because he's a future king. And,
You said that's setting up, his affection toward the son for what's coming later, because this might be, like you mentioned when we talked about it before, this might be the part that turns Aegon.
yeah.
He's just not into the whole war thing. He
wasn't
doesn't
into
even
none
want to
of
be
it.
king. He just wants to get drunk.
Oh, yeah. And, he says it at the end of season 1, where he says, when they first come to him, he's like, well, I'm not supposed to be king. My half-sister's king, or queen now, Rhaenyra. And, basically his family's like, no, you're the king. We're making you the king. And he didn't want it. And in the book, it's a thing where even when they make him king, he's like, I never wanted this. He tries to give it to his brother Aemond in the
Yeah.
book. And Aemond's like, no, you're the king. And, yeah, so the show, showed that in season 1, but they're definitely going, with season 2, they're definitely taking more of a, Aegon, now that he's king, he likes the power, and he's like, yeah, I'm king. And
Yeah,
he's,
Aemon wants the crown.
yeah, that's
in-
another
in
thing.
the-
Yeah, in
in
this,
Oh, yeah, Aemon
the-
clearly wants
Oh,
to
yeah,
be
he
the
definitely
king. Yeah.
wants it.
yeah, and they're doing a good. It's slightly different, but they're still doing it the same way. In the book, Daemon and Aemond are very similar, in the fact that in the book, both of them, are just neither of them really want to be king, but they want power. But they're fiercely loyal to their brothers, and the show's making them the same, like we just talked about with Daemon. With him in the show, he kind of does want to be king, but at the same time he don't, but he does. And Aemon's the same way. So they're doing a good job of. Daemon and Aemon are very, very similar. They're basically they're cut from the same stone, to use that phrase.
Their intentions are the same,
Oh yeah,
but they don't act nothing alike.
they're pretty dang
That's night
similar.
and day. Them two are night and day.
Yeah, I'd have to say the same.
Yeah,
I'd
those
say
two.
Aegon, like I said, he's just the party. He's the slacker kid.
No, I'm saying Aemon and Daemon.
Oh, Aemon. Oh, definitely.
Aemon and Damon. Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought you was talking about.
Yeah, I
his-
was
No,
lost too.
no, I'm talking about Aemon and Daemon.
Oh,
I
they're
thought you
very
was talking about his brother.
similar.
Yeah, those two are very similar.
No.
Yeah, they're just different generations.
that up,
They're,
no.
Yeah, they're very alike.
No, basically what I was saying is, the way they're described in the book and the way the show is portraying both Aemon and Daemon, they're just identical. They're cut from the same stone.
So
Did y'all pay attention to the opening credits of it? Watching any of
Not
it?
really.
I skipped over the opening credits. I normally don't with Game of Thrones because you had that whole
There's
scene.
a whole because
I skipped over it.
there's a scene where you see a tree and you see what looks like either two brothers or an uncle and a brother. One's holding the other one while the other one's dead. It's in one of the tapestry scenes. You got one kneeled down, the other one's laid across his lap, and he's holding him, and he's got blood coming out of his chest. I was like, I wonder either Damon takes out that one brother, or the brother takes out Damon.
Yeah, I was gonna say I already know how this stuff goes from the book.
With
so.
Damon and Aemon, eventually there's going to clash.
Oh,
they're
yeah.
going head to head eventually.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of spoiled that last podcast when I mentioned that and I'm not spoiling anything. Anybody who's just even knows anything,
That fight's coming.
There's a battle coming between Aemon and Damon. Again, that's why I'm just getting at. They're so similar that they were always going to clash. You get that scene in season 1 when they all have dinner together, and when they get up to leave, you get that, after Aemon makes his strong comment, which that was just great. That scene right there was amazing from season 1. But when you get that, and then you get Damon and Aemon, they just kind of give each other this look like they're eyeing each other up. And this was now in the story like a year or two prior, so now Aemon's gotten older and much more skilled.
The two best swords on either side are gonna fight.
Oh yeah, that's just how that stuff works.
That's bound to happen.
I thought them two would actually link up.
No.
Oh,
They
Aemon
were
and Damon?
just so much.
They're both alphas, man. They gotta.
I was going
be
back just
opposed
watching the
each
first
other.
one, just how they was at. Because I mean, you thought them two was brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Just how they are. I thought, I wonder if them two going to link up.
Well, I mean,
together.
had situations not split the family like it did, maybe they would have.
Yeah.
That things being what they were, they end up on opposite sides of the battle. So, and you talk about the tapestry, that might have something to do with Aegon later on at some point. Because there's going to be a lot of dragon, and he rides a dragon also.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
Sunfire, the most beautiful dragon in the realm. Everybody says.
And then you have so you got a lot of dragon battles coming up.
Yeah, episode 4.
So you got lots of dragon battles coming up.
Yeah, I made sure that I was going to fast forward past the credits. It's like, they had too many Easter eggs in these opening scenes.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I didn't pay attention to it.
I never skip it when it comes to Game of Thrones, but I watched it every episode last year for House of the Dragon, and then none of it was important. So this season I just skipped it, and apparently this is the season they started putting important stuff in there again. Which, again, I've already read the book, so I already know, but I know for next week, though, not to skip it now.
Yeah.
Well, I say next week, tomorrow.
Yeah.
good.
Technically tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah, well, when this podcast goes up, it'll be Saturday, so. Yeah, speaking of that, we're, most people put their reviews out
The day
the
after.
day after. Well, we do it right before the next episode. So.
Yeah, because people like to go back and do a little refresher.
Exactly. So this, you can listen to this episode and know exactly what happened in the previous episode right before you watch the new one. And moving on, the next important scene is, well, it's not really important, but the very next scene is when we get to see Alicent and her doings as
her buddy.
Or getting dones.
Yeah.
Getting her Aussie kisses.
And was I the only person, because again, none of this happened in the book, but was I the only person that when it first cut to it, that I thought that was Loras Strong, the clubfoot?
No, not for a second did I think it was Loras.
I was like, oh my God, Loras upgraded. He ain't just a footman anymore.
I knew right away who that was.
And then I was like, well, that can't be Loras. That's just... And then, obviously, you see who it is, and I'm like, daggone. He went...
Rhaenyra's sloppy seconds.
He went from Rhaenyra, the young Rhaenyra, when she was before she became a mother and lost her looks, and that's exactly how it's described in the book. It's described in the book that motherhood, took basically all of Rhaenyra's beauty away. But he moved from her straight to Alicent. It's like, okay then, I see where you're going here, Kristen.
Yeah, I was like, that's like, yeah.
I mean, he was the noble, knightly person.
Yeah.
And then, him and Rhaenyra got together, and then she wouldn't take off with him, and he just kind of got broken.
Yeah, he's like, I gave up.
Now he's just out for revenge.
He's out for himself.
Yeah, he's just out for himself.
Yeah. Yeah, he's styled as the queen's protector.
Mm-hmm.
But
he's protecting her all right.
oh yeah. He's definitely not in that position to be a noble knight protecting the queen. He has his own reasoning.
Oh yeah, he's definitely got his own agenda.
Yeah. From there, I was gonna say the next important scene, but the very next scene is the next important scene. That's when we get to see the small council meeting, which the small council's not so small.
No.
In season 1, and then back in Game of Thrones when we'd see small council meetings, they were small council. There was like 4 people, 5 people there max. In this one, there's like 7, 8 people in the room.
Was there really that many?
Oh yeah, I'm saying in the room total, because you got Sir Kristen, you got Alicent, you got Otto, you got Aegon, you got his son. That's 5. Then you've got the Master of Coin, the Maester, and one other person.
I didn't
can't
pay
remember.
attention to half of those people.
I didn't either. Because to me, it just looked
I
like
paid no attention.
they got rid of half the people from the first series. The first season
They've already
to the second.
Yeah, they've already replaced them. Oh, and the other one was the one that Aegon's son is badgering the whole time.
It's the Lannister.
Yeah, the Lannister. Jason Lannister.
Didn't they make him Master of Coin? No.
Yeah, he's Master of Coin.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. The Lannisters are.
Oh yeah, they got the money at that time.
Yeah.
So
This is before their gold mines ran out. So yeah, like I said, there's like 8 or 9 people in that small council meeting.
I didn't. I was focused pretty much on Aegon and the way he was messing with the Lannister guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Alicent trying to just get him back to being serious again, because he doesn't take much of anything seriously.
He didn't want none of it.
Yeah, and you've also got Aegon's son's babysitter there too. But they eventually leave, so then it does turn back into a normal small council meeting with, I think, like 6 people in the room.
Then you got Otto, who probably caused 90% of the problems that are going on.
Oh yeah,
he created most of this problem.
The issue was Otto had a plan, Alicent had a plan. They were both different plans, and they end up doing like a mixture of both, and it just didn't work. If they would have done what Otto wanted from the start, all this would have been avoided, but that also would have involved just straight up killing Rhaenyra before anything, before there was any news of, the king being dead and, Aegon ascending on the throne instead of Rhaenyra. Otto wanted to just wipe out Rhaenyra, problem solved, we had no issues. Alicent wanted to, terms of peace and all this other stuff, and they end up doing a mixture of both, which is what just plunged the realm into chaos and war. Civil War.
Well, I mean, yeah and no. Because they was both, calling both queens, was trying their best not to start a war until the other one killed her.
Yeah, until Aemon and Vhagar.
At some point there, Rhaenyra was just pretty much satisfied to go off to, what was it, Dragonstone?
Yeah, that's where she was.
And just be there.
Yeah, she was looking to fortify herself and everything, just in case they started coming for her. But then the shit happened with the dragon getting bitten too, and her son being lost. I'm gonna say lost at sea, because I didn't think that they was over the sea when it happened. But then you see a part of it where the ships are coming in from fishing, and they've got a dragon wing.
Yeah, they were over the sea.
Yeah, they were out over the ocean.
Yeah, the book does a good job of describing that scene, which that scene happens slightly different in the book. In the show, Aemon didn't really kill him. Vhagar just kind of got annoyed at the little dragon,
and blowing fire at it.
Yeah, and killed him. In the book, it was much more Aemon was commanding Vhagar, and just straight up murdered him. So they made it in the show and the show is canon, like Jamie said earlier. George has said, what happens in the show is canon. So whatever happens in the show, trumps what happened in the book. So, basically with it, Vhagar kind of his own volition, wiped out. I don't know that kid's name. I know Viserys.
Little Strong.
But, yeah, I don't know that one. And I don't know, there's 3 strong boys. I don't know the even younger one. I don't know him either.
Yeah, Baby Strong. It doesn't matter.
I know the old one, just Viserys, Jace. And then I know 2 of the 3 that she had with Daemon. I know their names. Mainly because one of them is also named Aegon, and the other is named after her father.
Yeah, they were not very original with names, were they?
No. Every person either had the same name or a variation of the name. Like you got Rhaenyra, Rhaenys, and Rhaena. It's like that's 3 Targaryen names that just sound the same. Sound like you're saying the same name when you're saying 3 different names there. You got Jacaerys, Viserys, Visenya, Viserys.
I'm not as familiar with the books as you are, but at some point, and I heard this on a different show, there's some Tullys named in the books.
Oh, yeah.
And the Tullys are Grover and Elmo Tully.
Yep.
Those are Sesame Street, man.
Yes, they are. Yep.
So George was just pulling stuff from wherever.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. As soon as you said that, I remembered last weekend I watched Elmo and Grouchland.
Oh, my God.
That's a good show.
I was never... Well, I can't say never. I do remember as a young kid liking, Sesame Street and liking Big Bird and Elmo. But that was very, very short period of time, and then I moved on to other cartoons. So my love for Sesame Street and all that was very short.
Yeah, Elmo and Grouchland is an actual movie that they come out with. It's actually pretty good.
I'll stick to my Scooby-Doo movies.
I like those too.
Yeah, buddy. Daggone.
I'm over here popping and cracking.
I hear that. At some point in that small council meeting, Aemond ends up, coming in.
Yeah.
And that's when, both Otto and Alicent's like, kind of like, what are you doing here? And that's when Aegon's like, he's our, our best sword hand, Yeah, I want him sitting in on the meetings. He can bring something to this war.
Yeah.
And that's when he's, describing, this is where him and Daemon have the same thought. They're both thinking, like we need to take, the middle of Westeros, the, what's the freaking huge castle there? The cursed castle.
Harrenhal.
Again, him and Daemon are echoing the same thing. We need to set up and fortify Harrenhal because that's where we'll hold things. And so, that was his battle strategy, which is, is a good one. But Daemon's got the same exact one. And, we'll see where that leads us later
they're
on.
They're that similar,
Yeah.
They think along the same lines. They're soldiers.
Yeah, the king was wanting to take his dragon and just burn through the blockades and stuff. Take my dragon out. They can't touch him and this and that. And I was like, like his mom said, they have dragons too.
Well, let's just and you'll see this. I think in episode 4. I think that's the episode. Episode 4 is titled "A Dance of Dragons," and I'm pretty sure that's the king gets his way in that episode, and he goes to burn some fleets to help with the blockade, and you'll see what happens there. I'm not gonna spoil anything like I did last week. Last week I listened to last week's episode, and I dropped some major spoilers that I didn't mean to drop.
Oh yeah,
just when we was talking. So yeah, I'm trying not to do that now. But yeah. So then after the small council, that's when we get the scene you were talking about with Rhaenyra and the boats bringing in a dragon wing. And, she shows up and basically sends all the people scattering away.
Well, she flew in a dragon, so...
Yeah. And that basically seeing that is kind of what I guess you could say kind of gives her closure. It just kind of, this is proof that, yes, your son is dead. Now it's time to go to war.
Yeah, the grieving period's over. You know exactly. There's no doubt in your head that because she's just going by what somebody told them.
Mm-hmm.
And who seen it? I have no freaking clue.
Yeah, I don't know how. Because that's another thing. This happened just like in the book and the show happened exactly the same. Where the battle took place overseas on a stormy, cloudy night or day. I'm not sure what time it was, but there was stormy, cloudy. That's the whole reason that
there may not have even been an eyewitness. I mean, each side has. I'm sure they have spies in the other one's kingdoms.
Oh yeah.
So say Aemon comes back and tells the story to his mother, and to
Yeah.
And then it's just it's going to get back.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And you might have just openly just took credit for it. I don't. think so.
No,
did.
you could look in his face. You'd see he's like, "Oh shit,
Yeah.
what did I do?"
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
In the book, he took credit for it. Like, he was proud. In the show, no. Like, that's what I said. And the show's canon. So he's not. He didn't really want that to happen per se. He would have preferred to fight the young strong boy in hand-to-hand combat and defeat him that way. And even then, if they were fighting that way, obviously Aemon would win.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he would even kill him then.
He wanted an eye.
Right. He just
He
wanted.
literally told him, an eye.
Yeah, that's why he threw him the dagger at the end of season 1.
Either one. He told him, you pick.
Yeah. So then after that scene, we go back to King's Landing, and this is when we get the glimpse of Aegon, being king and, dealing with the problems of the
common folk.
Yeah. So this is when he's, again, trying to be a nice king here.
Yeah, guy's got a problem. He's trying to fix the problem for him.
The guy needs, he needs his sheep back. It's wintertime now in Westeros. That's another thing. It's wintertime in Westeros now. Alicent, mentions that after her ordeal that there's a chill in the air.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Winter is coming.
Well, it ain't coming. Winter's there. This is not a bad winter though. Not like the supposed winter that we was gonna get in Game of Thrones. That also clearly was not a very bad winter. Seemed like it was gonna be at the end of season 7, but no, not very much. Anyway, House of the Dragon, not Game of Thrones here. Again, yes, Aegon trying to be a good king, but also kind of you can't please everybody. Like, if you just give everybody exactly what they want as king, you're not going to be king long.
You're not going to have nothing.
Yeah. That's just not how it works.
Yeah, but Otto's approach might not be the best either.
It's not. No. Otto's approach is how you get the small folk to not like you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As we'll see. Well, I can't say it still. It'll be a major spoiler to say what I was getting ready to say. But, yeah, you'll see later on, probably in Season 3, that there's another person on the throne that takes kind of Otto's approach, and they are not liked at all. So yeah, then you get, after they leave that, you get Loras Strong, the clubfoot, who was kind of watching all this happen. He kind of pulls the king Aegon off to the side to talk to him. You get the feeling that the clubfoot, he's like the master of whispers. Kind of like in Game of Thrones.
What Varys was.
Varys or Littlefinger. Yeah. So he's got his
he's
pulse.
He's definitely a Littlefinger character.
Oh, yeah. He's a lot like Littlefinger.
He's just...
So he understands what's going on, and I think he sees that his grasp on the queen is slipping. So now he's trying to pull in somebody else, and now for him, he's going for the big fish. He's going for the king. So
he's arguably the simplest one of them. So
yeah,
he's going to be the easiest to manipulate anyway.
Yeah,
I see him trying to. In my head, I see him trying to come to hand, just by what he said. He was,
surely he wants to. Yeah.
He said,
yeah, he's going to bounce Otto out of there.
He was your dad's hand.
Mm-hmm.
And he specified that don't mean it has to be your hand.
Yeah, he's manipulating the situation. He's working he's working his way into Otto's position.
He doesn't quite have the same ambitions that Littlefinger had. Littlefinger's ambitions was to literally be king. That's what all the workings he done was to put himself in line to be some sort of king. Whereas Loras is, like you guys just said, he wants to be hand. That's what he's trying to worm his way to.
Yeah, he was talking to the queen and told her that he went through and interrogated all the house staff and everything. And he thinks he rooted out all the vermin. Mm-hmm. He goes, what do you mean? He said, let's just say they won't be a problem no more.
Yeah.
Everybody in here I handpicked myself. I was like, that'd be the last thing I want.
Yeah, now the whole of her staff and, helpers and all these people.
So who are they really going to be loyal to,
Exactly. They're his spies now. Mm-hmm. And you kind of get she kind of gets the understanding of that. And that's when you get that scene when she's taking a bath, and it's just how it is in those times in Game of Thrones in Westeros and stuff. Where you get all these hand servants and stuff that literally.
Well, that was just royalty.
They bathe you in everything.
Even in real history.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying just back in that time.
Mm-hmm.
But she understands now that these people are, they're spies for Loras, and she sees how he is now. So she just sends him away like, nah, I can bathe myself now.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean that's a couple scenes later, but the stuff that happens in between there is not super important. Although you do get the scene, it cuts back to a ship, one of the Valerian ships, and you see them searching the ship to make sure there's no stowaways, and there is a stowaway. And
what was it, White Snake or
no, what I'm trying to think of what they call her name, but it was basically it was Damon's old mistress Paragon.
Yeah, what is the story with her?
She ran the whorehouse,
and she was also kind of like a master of whispers. She basically when Laura says that he weeded out he's basically weeding out all of her people. That's what he was doing. Because she had people, in the Queen's service, and that's how she was kind of spying and keeping an eye on everything that's happening. And you saw at the end of, season 1, her place gets burned down, and, that Loras, basically if any type of larceny happens in the show, Loras was involved. That's like his method. Instead of having them poisoned like Littlefinger always did, he prefers to just burn them out. But, and I think he assumes that she's dead. So she just hops on a ship and stows away to Dragonstone. Basically she's not going back to Daemon, but she is going back to Daemon.
Yeah, she's just trying to escape from where she's at because she knew she was done for.
Yeah, her time in King's Landing was up. If she stayed there, she would die.
They called her the White something.
I can't think of it either. I don't know why, but
White Worm.
It may have been the White Worm. Again, I'm not 100% sure.
I'm not either, but I know it was White something.
But anyway, she gets found by the other twin of the King's Guard, or in his case, the Queen's Guard.
Now they've split.
Yeah,
the twins, like one went to Team Black, one's with Team Green.
Yeah,
yep.
But they didn't split in like they don't like each other way. It was more of a, my honor
says I go here.
Says I go here. Your honor says you go here.
They don't hate each other.
No.
And quite the opposite, actually.
Right, exactly. I'm curious to see what happens. This is one of those things in the book that there's like 3 different conflicting stories about what happens with those two. So I'm excited to see what actually happens. Because something's coming with those two. So don't know when it'll happen, but there's something coming that I want to see what the canon is. So, I'm not spoiling nothing. So
that's almost inevitable too.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
you can see that set up.
They're brothers on opposite sides of the battle. They're going to have to clash with each other, or one's going to have to try to save the other one. Maybe
you can't have
something's coming.
Yeah, you can't have a civil war without brother on brother. So, but we're gonna call it a White Worm because I'm thinking that was what they called her, something like that.
White chick.
But anyway, she
white chick.
She gets found.
Shouldn't know that'd be a problem.
Oh God. She gets taken to Daemon, and they have their conversation. Daemon's obviously not thrilled with her because he feels like she played a part in making Aegon the king.
Yeah, because she told him where Aegon was,
and she basically tells him, it was going to happen no matter what I did. She said, I just sped up the process.
Yep.
For gold, which why would you not?
Well,
this is going to happen.
You might as well profit from it.
Right. That was her exact words, and that's how I would kind of look at it. This is going to happen no matter what I do. This way, at least I can make some money off of it. So, yeah. That's when you get the scene between Daemon and the twin. I'm just going to call them the twin because I cannot think of their names. And Daemon's basically like, I need to get into Westeros, into King's Landing. And this is also when Rhaenyra shows back up, finally. And basically, walks into her
so just
small
one
council.
Statement.
And basically just tells them, Daemon says his thing, Rhaenys says her thing, and then she's basically just like, I want Aemond.
Yep.
Plain and simple.
She just wants Aemond.
I want Aemond. And
Which a mother would.
exactly. You know,
Once the guy who killed her son.
Yeah, that's exactly what you would expect. That's not what happened in the book, but that's more along the lines of what I would expect to be said in that situation.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, at that point, it's not about strategy or anything. She just wants Aemon dead.
Yeah.
I would come in there and say, I want his other eye.
And, you know, from here, this is Daemon gets on a boat and goes to King's Landing. And this is when he meets up with one of his old, I guess you can call him, loyalists from the Gold Cloaks.
Well, you know, Daemon was liked by most of the people.
He was liked by, you know, some of the people, a good bit, but not all of them.
Well, he's that flashy.
Oh yeah,
you know.
He was loved by the Gold Cloaks though,
Yeah.
because you know he basically gave them a purpose. He turned them into this, like, you know, scatterbrained, you know, organization that was supposed to kind of keep the city in wraps, and basically turned them into like a you know, a well-oiled machine, kind of army-like deal to keep the people in line. Because, you know, crime was just rampant in King's Landing, and to be fair, it kind of still is.
Yeah. Well, he went through and rounded a bunch of them up and.
Oh yeah, and started just chopping off limbs like crazy.
Yep.
Which, when they're that lawless, that's kind of what you got to do.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And you put the fear of anybody else wanting to do anything. Cause,
exactly.
what just happened?
That's what I'm saying.
It's
That made him very popular among just the common people.
Oh yeah, because now
he took crime down. You know?
Right.
He made life better for him. None of the other royalty did anything for him.
Yeah.
No.
It's gonna sound like a weird comparison, but it's kind of like Batman with Gotham City. It's like,
okay,
you know, Gotham City. That's kind of like one of the things in all the Batman movies. One thing that stays the same is that Gotham City has got like just rampant crime. Like, it's just terrible. And Batman shows up and basically puts the fear of God into the criminals, and, you know, helps to clean up the city. Obviously, never fully cleans it up. It's Gotham. There's always some evil person there. But anyway, you know, Daemon, you know, cleans up, basically tries to clean up the streets. So he goes back to King's Landing, and this is one thing that I was a little disappointed in. The show never says the names of the Gold Cloak and the Rat Catcher.
No, they're just pretty generic characters,
right.
Actually.
I wish, but in the book, it's very important that, you know, we know their names. It's Blood and Cheese, and in the show they just, yeah, we don't.
Well,
need
they
to know
call him
that.
Cheese in the.
Oh, do they call him Cheese?
Yeah.
I must have missed that part.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Do they call the other one Blood at any point?
I don't know.
Well, anyway,
That's when Damon walks up to him and
I know
makes an offer.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, because he's eating cheese at the time too.
And yeah, they said they call me Cheese.
Yeah, I completely glazed over that part because, like I said, he was eating cheese at that part. So I think in my mind, I was just like, "Oh, this is corny." You know, his name's Cheese and he's eating cheese. Well, his name's not really Cheese, but that's what he's called
Right.
in the
Yeah.
book. You know, he's called Cheese, and the Gold Cloak is called Blood.
Well, all of them get weird names. If you recall back in the Game of Thrones season or series, the torturer guy, he was the tickler, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I don't see how that equals up to torture.
I don't know. I don't get it either.
That's a polite form of torture, I guess.
I guess.
Yeah, I never seen no polite form of torture anywhere on that show.
Oh, not in that show, no. Let's see. After that, there's a scene of basically, you know, Alicent's in the I call it the room of candles. Basically in one of the kind of like the basement dungeon
I call it
area.
a church.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of like the precursor.
Like
for
an altar kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
she's praying, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
she's definitely praying.
She's doing that, and at the same time, they're literally just bouncing back and forth between her
And then the ceremonies.
and the ceremonies for Rhaenyra's son.
For little strong that got eat.
Yeah, don't know if you can call him strong. Maybe you have to call him weak.
Mm.
He didn't make it, but yeah, and you know, this is all leading up to the culmination of the episode. What people like me that had read the book was waiting for to see how they did.
Now, before you go too far, did she not light a candle for Rhaenyra's son.
Yep, at
Yep.
the very end. And in
So
fact,
she's got a little remorse there. I mean, she wasn't looking for anyone to die.
She wasn't looking for war.
No.
yeah, the kid, it just hit me when you said that because I remember her saying now, the kid's name was Lucerys, and everybody called him Luke. Same way, I call his brother Jace, even though his name's Jacaerys. It's just easier to say Jace and Luke. So so
Will
she does
have that same.
She was kind of
attitude
hesitant.
now?
Oh, well, I ain't gonna say nothing, but probably definitely not. But
Hell no.
No.
although again, the book is different with who's present when the child murder happens. In the book, Allison's there. In the book, Allison is the one that gets taken hostage right off the bat. When I'll describe the scene in the book before we get to the scene in the show. But in the book, Blood and Cheese, they take one of Maegor's secret passages into the queen's room. And when I say the queen, I'm talking about Aegon II's wife, sister, same person.
Whose name I
Yeah,
don't know.
nobody can hear you.
The Dreamer.
Yeah,
You're not closing
the
up.
Dreamer girl. But they go into her room, and Allison's there because in the book, Allison basically reads to the grandchildren every night. So she's already there. So Blood and Cheese take her captive out the bat. So in the book, Allison is taken captive. And they wait.
That's not what she was doing.
No, in the show, she was busy elsewhere.
Yeah.
So
And by busy, he means busy.
yes,
She was drilling her guard. Or her guard was drilling her. One of the two.
she was on top. So make of that what you will. Anyway, in the book, she's captive, and they basically wait for the queen to show up with the two children. Because, in the show, there's the 6-year-old boy, and then there's the sister. Well, in the book, the sister's not there. It's the other brother, who's also young. He's like 2 years old. So you got a 2-year-old boy and a 6-year-old boy. And when the queen shows up with those two, that's when Blood and Cheese take her. And so now they've got Queen Alicent and whatever the girl's name is, the actual queen right now. They got both of them, and they basically force her, not Alicent, the other one, you tell us one of these boys are dying. You tell us which one to kill. And, it's like, what? What kind of choice is that?
You kind of glossed right over the part where Damon tells them
I'm talking about the book.
Yeah, but you kind of glossed over the part where Damon sent them in there to kill.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. In the book, the way it literally said, a son for a son. He doesn't give them direct orders to kill Aemon like he does in the show. In the book, he just tells them a son for a son. So it's all, in the book, there's no, they were trying to find Aemon and couldn't find him. They were literally, it was whatever son they wanted to kill, they could kill. It did not matter who, which is why they do it the way they do it in the book. They break in, they take Alicent hostage, then the other queen, and basically, force her to make a choice. Kill the 2-year-old or the 6-year-old. And she finally points at the 2-year-old and says, kill him. And they basically look at the 2-year-old and say, how's it feel, boy, knowing your mom wants you dead? And then they kill the other one, the 6-year-old. And then they go back through the past, and which we'll see this probably in the beginning of episode 2. One of them gets away, the other doesn't in the book. Now, we'll see how the show does it. But in the book, I think it's Blood gets away and Cheese gets caught. So we'll see how the show does it. In the show, this all happens not very differently, but differently. In the show, again, Alicent is not there. She's busy elsewhere. And in the show, like Jackie said, Daemon, gives them orders to kill Aemon. He's not hard to find. He's got one eye. That's who you want to kill.
Then they ask him, what if we can't find him?
And there's no answer. It goes
kept
black.
away.
So we don't know what Daemon said.
Daemon gave him an answer, but we don't get to see it. I'm assuming, this is me assuming, I do not know. Nobody knows because we didn't get to see. I'm assuming he tells them
A son for
a
a son.
for a son. So long, it's just got to be a
And if he
a
did,
son.
that'll come out at some point.
Yeah, I'm hoping it does.
Yeah, it will.
Give us a little
I
clarification.
suspect it will.
Yeah, because going off of the trailer for this next episode.
Now,
Yeah.
in the book, are they aware that Daemon is the one who sent the assassins in?
No.
They never know. They just know they came. They never know who sent them exactly.
Yeah, this is where
Assume Rhaenyra probably did.
They assume Rhaenyra, and in the book, Alicent is, in the show, you see Alicent is always trying to go with peace over everything. In the book, that's not how it is. Alicent is nowhere near as nice as her character is on the show. In the book, Alicent, basically, not from the very beginning, but from the second she actually marries the king and becomes queen, she is just a power-hungry, it's all about her children.
But apparently that was told by someone who didn't like Alicent, according to George.
Yeah, Yeah, basically. Because, again, the book Fire and Blood is told through Maester's stories.
Maesters and fools.
Yeah.
And a septon.
Yeah.
Which is a priest, basically.
Mm-hmm. So yeah.
A priest, a maester, and a fool. That's why you get such weird, varying versions of it.
Oh, yeah. And that's why I kind of like that George has said, you got all this, so in the book, there's always questions of what actually happened. I like that he come out and said, the show is what happened. All these questions you have in the book, the show, this is what you see in the show is what happened. So, yeah. And, basically, in the show, Blood and Cheese, first they walk in on the throne, and they see Aegon up on the throne drinking with his buddies.
Yeah.
He just lounged about on that, the swords. Whereas, the previous king, Viserys, he couldn't sit on that throne without getting cut by one of them. Again, the throne, it's said a lot.
They just ignored Aegon.
Oh, yeah. It's said a lot in the book, in both books, in, the Game of Thrones book and in Fire and Blood, that, the throne kind of will tell you a lot about if this person should be king. It's very kind of, there's some people that can sit on that throne and, never get pricked once. There's other people that, sit on the throne and get cuts all the time, like Viserys. And those are kind of considered the people that the throne's just kind of shunning, like, no, you shouldn't be king. You're not fit for this. And like I said, you got Aegon just sprawled across it drinking.
Yeah, like a bunch of frat boys.
Basically,
that's all he is.
Yeah. He's basically a college boy.
Yeah, he's the slacker.
He's a preppy frat boy, and those are his lackeys in front of him who are just fawning all over top of him.
Yeah,
you should be the one doing this. And
it puts you in the mind of when Voldemort was at Hogwarts with all his followers.
Yep, and they had the Death Eaters.
Yeah, all his Death Eaters, and they're just in awe of him, basically. So, but yeah, this is, Blood and Cheese kind of just walk right by that. This is when apparently you find out that Cheese he's a rat catcher for the lower portion of the castle, not for the upper kind of quarters of the Queen's room and these other places. And Blood's basically like, no, this is where we're going.
Yeah, he literally grabs him by the neck, picks him up in the air with one hand, and is crushing him. We're going up there.
Did it put you in mind of anything?
Hagrid,
yep.
And let it be known, I was not the first one to bring up Harry Potter in this podcast.
I done brought it up twice now.
I know. Let it be known, it wasn't me this time. Because it's usually me bringing a reference of it.
Hey, we said it at the intro to our pod when we started this months ago. Harry Potter is going to be brought up in some form or fashion in every single episode.
And he has been.
Yeah.
In every single episode.
We can't get around that. That's just how we are. So anyway, they make it to the room, and basically, the people in the room for the show and for what happens is the Queen, that we don't know her name, and her 6-year-old son, and the daughter, which I think is like 3 or 4. And their Blood and Cheese are basically, and again, another Targaryen thing with the way they all have silver hair and they all have long silver hair. It's like, which one's the boy? It's like, well, there is an easy way to find out. But instead, they just ask the Queen, which one's the boy? And basically, she points at one. They're like, okay, that means it's the other one.
I mean, without checking them out, is it that hard to tell a boy from a girl, even if their hair's long?
Well,
it can't be that difficult.
Well, I mean, you got grandchildren. When they're around that age, 4, 5, 6.
You can tell.
Okay.
I think. What about you?
Well, yeah,
You raise kids.
Yeah, but looking at them, they all dress the same and everything.
Well, I guess. Yeah.
And if you're not familiar with, if you're not seeing them all the time, then it's like, okay, is this the boy? Is this the girl? You know how it is nowadays. You don't know.
Okay. Well, okay. I grant you that.
You also get the part where Blood runs into one of the housemaids. I call her Unibrow because she's almost got a unibrow. She's got some bushy eyebrows that almost connect.
Mm-hmm.
So, they'll say again, you get to the scene and because they're kind of smuggled their way into the castle. They don't have a sword on them. They've got a dagger. So now they've got to basically saw this kid's head off. Like, they can't just
and
give
of course,
it
they don't show you any of this, but the sounds is...
Right.
You know what's happening.
Yeah. And when I said I wanted to be more graphic, I didn't mean I want to see the kid getting his head cut off. I didn't want to see that. I just thought, again, the way it happened in the book with them, basically forcing the queen to pick which one is going to die, and Alicent being there, and it, the way it kind of... Well, I mean, we're going to see where it goes from here. So it may... The after fact may be just as brutal as the book. So we'll see. Because in the book, this basically just ruins the I'll call it the young queen. Yeah, in the book, she is, after this happens, she's nothing. She's basically just a hollow, empty person that will not eat anymore, never leaves a room, and she's basically just broken. She's done.
Well, you can see that coming even in the show.
Oh, yeah. Well, she
just kind of shuts down,
She was a little strange to begin with.
Exactly. And then that was the whole thing with her. She's just kind of, quiet, kind of off a little bit.
Then she gets traumatized by seeing her kid get killed, and then gets traumatized when she runs into the other room.
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't think that traumatized her at all. I think she was already...
Yeah, she was just too far gone at that point anyway. Nothing. Yeah. She's her emotions are just shut down.
Yeah, she ran in, saw that, and just slumped to the floor.
She didn't slump to the floor because she saw that. She slumped to the floor because of what just happened.
And only comment was, they killed the boy. That's all she said. You can get that look on Alicent's face. And that's pretty much where we're at.
Yeah.
Until tomorrow night. Or tonight?
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
Yep. Not only is it Saturday, but again, the podcast goes up on Saturday, so it shall be tomorrow, Sunday at 9. 9 o'clock is when the episodes come out.
I almost forgot about it.
I didn't forget about it, but I didn't start watching it as soon as it come out.
Oh, I did.
I know you did, because when you sent the message out that hopefully the episodes
get hopefully better. They get a lot better than what they are now.
I wasn't finished with the episode yet, which is why I knew that you started almost as soon as it came out.
Oh, I kept refreshing it.
See, I normally do that, but I was where I had to work Saturday night. The way my sleeping schedule went Sunday, I literally woke up at like 5 minutes before it was going to come on. So I had to go to the kitchen and make me something to eat and all that other stuff. So it was like 15 after when I started the episode.
Oh, I didn't have my popcorn and everything in there. And because I remember, when Game of Thrones and stuff was coming on, it was like 5 or 10 minutes before it was actually supposed to. You could refresh it, and then boom, it was on. Mm-hmm. And I kept refreshing, and finally it popped up on there. I was like, oh, yeah. And I hit it.
So, yeah, that was...
I watched it somewhat later.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I was in your situation where I had to, work on a Sunday night, it would just be like, sometime throughout Sunday night I'll watch it.
Oh, see, that was different to me, because when the actual Game of Thrones was on, oh, dude, I had my tablet, I had my hotspot on, and I was watching it.
Oh, yeah.
I was sitting on top of the hill where I know I had damn good service, and I was watching as it was playing.
Yeah. As much like I like this show. It's really good. It's still not Game of Thrones level. Nothing is.
Oh no.
So that's why it wouldn't. If this was Game of Thrones, if I would have woke up at 5 minutes till it was going to come on, I wouldn't have went anywhere to make me nothing to eat or anything. I would have been like, oh, I'm up, turn TV on, start refreshing. But with this show, it's one of those. Yeah, I mean, I really like it, but I'm not stressed about. I got to be here at 9 o'clock to watch it. And I'm also not listening to a bunch of after show stuff like podcasts and stuff, breaking it down like I did with Game of Thrones.
I got a couple downloaded. I just ain't never listened to them.
Yeah.
Well, see, I've got some, but I haven't listened to them either because I didn't want to listen to them until we did this.
That way you
because I didn't want their opinion changing my opinion.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Because I've done that before.
Oh, yeah.
It's easy to. Because then somebody will bring something up and you go, well, now that you mention that.
Yeah, and then I've got to rethink what I was thinking. And so I'm just rehashing what they said instead of what I was going to say. So.
Yeah.
So now I'll go back and listen to them, and my opinion may change on a few things. Yeah. I still say, man, what we're going to get next is probably going to be Dunk and Egg story.
I think that's the next show to come out.
And you don't know if you're familiar with that one or not.
No, he's not familiar at all.
It's pretty good, too.
It's a good short story.
It is. It's a short, and it's literally just a short story.
And it's told like a regular story. So you could listen to it and not have a problem like you did with Fire and Blood.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's really good. But the one I really want eventually is the Story of the Long Night. But that one would be, I don't know if they could ever do that. Because there's so much about it we don't know about.
Yeah, that's going way, way back.
So, George would have to write all that, and we know that's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, he might have some writers write it out for him, but he ain't going to do it.
What I said, what I want is, and Fire and Blood, the book, starts off with Aegon the Conqueror. So I don't know why they didn't start this show off with that. They could have started the show off with that, and they could have got like 10 seasons out of this show.
I think that's something they'll never go to because it's just so well known already.
Yeah, but I don't know. When I listen to Fire and Blood,
that would be like really big production too.
Oh, it definitely would be
huge when they can do this, and then they can do the Dunk and Egg, and supposedly there's some Dunk and Egg stories that haven't even been written yet.
Yeah, supposedly there's
which
3.
May never be. Who knows?
They'll be written in the script form.
George might live to be 100, man, and finish all this off, but I kind of doubt it.
No, he won't. He definitely won't. Anyway, I don't know. Like I said, the Fire and Blood book starts off with Aegon the Conqueror, and you learn about him. And after he dies, you learn about Maegor the Cruel, and then that whole ordeal. That's when you learn about the Kinslayer, because basically to become king, Maegor murders his own brother, and basically most of his brother's children. So, and sisters. That's why he's called Maegor the Cruel. It goes from him. That's when you get King Jaehaerys, the Conciliator, probably the greatest king of Westeros. He becomes king at a super young age. Like, basically, he's like 14 or 15. He becomes king, and he's basically, he's the king before Viserys. He's basically king for like 50-some years, which in Westeros and in Game of Thrones terms,
that's old.
That's forever. Nobody's king for that long. Most people don't live to be 50, much less be king for 50 years. And in fact, he may have been king for 60 or 70. I can't remember how long he lived for.
All of those instances are kind of what we got now. We got Targaryen against another branch of the Targaryen just fighting for rule.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, give me Robert's Rebellion. That's the one I want to see then.
Yeah, see, I would love to see that too. That's Fire and Blood Part 2, the second half of the book that George
that'd be cool.
hasn't written yet.
I want to see a young Robert Baratheon in battle because the books talk about just what a incredible soldier, fighter he was. And
I played this clip for Jamie. There's a clip in Fire and Blood, this little prophecy that's mentioned. Because there's a character coming up that we'll see in the show, and his nickname is the Hammer. He's just a brute of a man, kind of like the Mountain. Maybe not quite as big, but he's described as being really, really big. And he uses a battle hammer in battle, kind of like Robert did.
Now, he definitely wants to be a king.
And because he makes, I definitely don't want to spoil nothing with him, but there's a prophecy that, gets brought up with, surrounding him, that the prophecy goes, when the hammer meets the dragon in battle, the hammer. Yeah,
When the hammer falls on the dragon.
I can't remember exactly
Something to
how it
that
goes.
effect. But that sounds a whole lot like Robert
Yeah.
and what they call him?
I don't know what.
The all the Targaryens have basically just there's 4 names.
Oh, one
Is he a
second.
Viserys? No.
I looked his name up the other day when we had this conversation.
Yeah, and I can't remember it either.
It.
Anyway,
Anyway, yeah, basically it's when the hammer falls upon the dragon, a new king shall rise, and none shall
stand before him.
stand before him. And, this guy who fashioned himself as the hammer thinks that's about him. But if you think about it,
Probably
Robert Baratheon in the war uses a battle hammer, and he fights the Targaryen that we can't think of his name, and he kills him, with his hammer.
King.
Well, no, the Mad King gets slain by Jaime Lannister, but in the battle, the Mad King's son, who was the heir to the throne,
Yeah, whose name escapes me, but it describes Robert basically caving in his chest plate with his hammer.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
You remember that's how the Ruby Ford got its name,
Yep,
because he had ruby encrusted in his breastplate,
yep,
and when Robert hit it, they all went into the water.
yep. And that wins the war, and Robert becomes king. So, yeah, that was a cool little prophecy there. But it, along with what Jamie was saying, I would love to see that. Basically, if they wanted to, they could keep this show going into future things, because there's other events that happen. There's another kind of civil war with the Targaryens that happens after, like 50 or 60 years after this one,
Boring.
called the Blackfire Rebellions.
Boring.
I'm just saying there is. And that's when you...
Except that's when you get the 3-eyed raven, is
That's-
it not?
that's
Now,
when
that
you-
might be interesting, because
Right.
that takes us north of the wall again, which is where I want to go.
Well, he's not north of the wall when that happens.
But he gets there.
Yeah, and he's also he's the one that ends up losing Dark Sister, the Valyrian steel sword.
The one that Daemon carries.
Yeah, he ends up with it, even though he's a
Blackfire, right?
yeah. Well, basically, what happens, and again, Fire and Blood ends before this, but you get some little bit of reference to it. Basically, kind of like with Jaehaerys, where he was, lived so long and was king for so long, he had a bunch of kids, and that's basically what made this happen. It basically happens again, where eventually one of the Targaryens becomes king and has way too many kids with way too many different women. So he ends up with just a slew of bastard kids. And on his deathbed, he legitimizes every single one of them. And that does not go over well. And that's when you end up with a bunch of them getting the label Blackfire. And, they basically decide, when the realm kind of shuns them as like, nah, your father may legitimize you on his deathbed, but you're not legitimate Targaryens. So that's when you get the Blackfire Rebellions. So yeah, there's a lot they could do when this ends. I don't think they will, but there's a lot they could do. Like you said, that Dunkin' Egg is the
definitely
next
going
thing.
Dunkin' Egg next.
Oh yeah, well, that's already been said. Like HBO's, they haven't even made a freaking. Well, they've greenlit a. What do they call those? The first episode of a show.
Pilot.
Yeah, they've greenlit a pilot. Which they greenlit a pilot for The Long Night, and that got canceled real quick.
Did they ever film anything on that, I wonder?
Yeah, they filmed a pilot.
Oh, it's out there somewhere.
Exactly. It'll be in the ether.
It'll surface someday.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know if it'll surface or not.
Well, you might be right, because there's stuff that's been filmed that we've never seen yet.
There was that pilot for Game of Thrones that we didn't get.
Right.
That apparently was completely different actors.
Yeah.
So that would be interesting to watch and see what their original intent was.
Yeah, I think what they should do is when it starts dropping off and people ain't talking about it as much, bring it out.
Exactly.
Just
I
bring
agree.
out the old stuff and everything, and it brings people talking about it again, people looking it back up again, and it gets you some money rolling back in.
It piques the interest again.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, to me, that's something they could have done for this House of the Dragon leading up to it. They could have released that original pilot for Game of Thrones that, didn't make it, that got canceled. It's kind of like and when I say release it, I don't mean like make a spectacle of it, but just, we got hacked and this got, released.
Oh yeah, don't
one of those.
Put it right out there. I always make it look like somebody else put it out there.
Yeah.
Like Deadpool.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds leaked, the first part of Deadpool, and that's what got it made.
Yep. Well, I believe that's all the House of the Dragon talk we got.
Till it airs tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there did anybody watch anything else this week?
I ain't got to watch nothing.
I've watched the first 4 episodes of The Boys. I finished those.
Oh yeah.
Was it any good?
Oh, you finished,
yes.
You finished all 4 now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, if you like The Boys, it's right along with it.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Gen V is amazing, by the way. I said, we talked about this at last week's episode, but I said, at the end of last episode, I was gonna watch Gen V, and I said I was probably gonna watch it in full, but I may not, but I probably will. Well, sure enough, I literally watched all 8 episodes of Gen V at once, and then all 3 episodes of The Boys that was out at the time. I watched all of it at once. Once I started, I couldn't stop.
See, I heard there was a little bit of backlash going on with The Boys.
Really?
I know what you're. Well, I don't know exactly what you're getting at, but it's The Boys. In my opinion, The Boys does a good job of taking stuff that's going on in the real world that most of the time when it gets put in movie and TV shows, I hate.
The woke stuff.
Yeah, I hate when they put it in there. I'm like, why are you putting this in there? We don't need this. I'm watching stuff to get away from this. The Boys does a good job of putting it in there, but in ways that I'm like, that was funny, or that was completely stupid, and I'm fine with it.
I said this the other day to you. I can't tell half the time if it's being woke or making fun of being woke.
Yeah.
I can't. It could go either way, honestly, on a lot of it.
Yeah, like I said,
and it mixes in both on it. It
does.
Stays pretty middle of the road. It doesn't really take a side.
It makes fun
of
both sides.
It hacks on everybody and everything.
Yeah.
Well, that's good because, like I said, I do a lot of scrolling through YouTube, and I run up on certain stuff, and he's like, yeah, you got the one gay character who's always announcing he's gay, and you got the black girl who's always announcing that she's black, and I was like, okay.
I assume you're talking about the genius. Well, yeah, you wouldn't know.
I don't watch it.
Yeah, you wouldn't know, but
yeah, but like I said, it doesn't really seem to pick a side.
Well, it's good.
One minute it seems like it's talking, pro this, and then it's con that, and there's not a good character in there.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
That's the whole thing of The Boys is there are no good people, not 100% purely,
Oh yeah,
yeah. Even the characters that are supposed to be the good guys are not good guys.
They're just not as bad as the bad guys,
right?
Yeah, yeah. Or they're bad in a different way.
In a different type of bad.
Anybody watch The Acolytes?
No, not yet. I don't know if I ever will.
I was gonna say you can drop the yet. It's just not.
I may not.
Yeah, it went crazy.
Have you?
I watched the Neurotic talk about it and stuff.
Oh, well, that's his people.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
That's Jamie's people.
Shout out to Nerdrotic.
Yeah. Holy crap. 3 and 4. 1 and 2 they said was pretty bad. When it got to 3, that's when the ratings dropped down to like 14.
Oh yeah, and yeah, I think 14 was as low as it got, but man, that's pretty damn low.
Yeah, that's the fan rating.
Yeah,
Rotten Tomato gives it like 80 or 90.
Oh yeah,
the fans give it a 14.
Yeah, the last time I looked at the fan rating, it was 17, but I had heard it went down even lower.
Yeah, oh, we can do a live check-in now and see what it's at.
Can you go negative numbers, I wonder?
I'd almost say you could.
So you become a fan of Nerdrotic, huh?
I was just scrolling through there, watching Acolytes stuff on Acolytes. I was like, can't be that bad. I haven't seen a good review on it yet.
See, the second I heard how bad it was, I I never looked up a thing about it again because I was just like, hey, that's bad. I'm not watching it.
See, I don't have to watch it. Nerd Rock's whole thing is we'll watch it so you don't have
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was saying is I just once I heard how bad it was, I just put it out of my mind like it don't even exist.
Well, I wanted to hear why it was so bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's still sitting on a 14%.
Yeah.
Well, they've probably froze it at that by now.
Yep. And the critics is still sitting on 85%.
Well, when Disney pays the critics to give a good rating, you get what you get.
Oh, yeah, like they gave all them free passes to their Star Wars hotel to have them come in there and check it out. And they gave all these glowing reviews for it, and it didn't last a year. I hate to see the money they sunk into that place.
Mm-hmm.
They never got nowhere near their money back out of it.
Oh, no. Disney, from everything I've read and saw, has been bleeding money for several years now.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So how they they bring in so much.
I was going to say.
The parks bring in a ton of money.
Yeah, but
they're losing big time on everything else.
The parks ain't bringing in as money like it used to, though.
No, well, probably not like it used to. And you don't have the merch sales anymore, I wouldn't imagine, because what are people buying?
Well, they've also still got, though, ABC, which even though, cable is dying, still, there's streaming services and, still ABC is still, a huge thing with commercials and all that other stuff. They've got all the sports stuff. So they still got enough money coming in that even though they're bleeding money everywhere else, it's not good for them. They're definitely doing a lot of things to try to improve. Well, they're not doing the right things, but they are doing things to try to stop the hemorrhaging. But it's still not as bad as 10 years from now, Disney will go out of business. They don't have to worry about that.
I don't know.
Yeah, that it'll never get to that point with them.
They're losing the last couple of movies. Just one movie, they lost like $100 some million.
Oh, really, man?
That's a lot of movies nowadays.
Disney movie you can think of right off the top of your head?
What's
the last good Disney movie?
I don't really watch Disney movies, but some of my favorites.
I mean, that would be one of the.
That would be my Hercules.
Oh, but these are years ago, man.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Recently, what can you think of?
It would have to be one of the MCU movies. And even they aren't.
And I don't even watch none of those.
So that's it, man. Right off the top of your head, you can't think of anything they've put out that's been that movie,
Yeah. They've had a lot of hype around, and it's like, yes, merch is going off the thing.
Yeah, there's nothing that's just really hit since probably Endgame.
Oh, yeah. Which, I mean, again, this kind of goes back to why they're not in trouble is, how much money they made off of Endgame? All the money they're losing now is like, we made all that on Endgame. It doesn't matter. I
mean, the Doctor Who franchise is making nothing.
Yeah.
It's getting horrible ratings.
I actually... Again, don't mind.
And I'm not saying it's horrible.
I haven't watched the season finale yet.
It's not what it used to be, man. It's not the same show it used to be.
It's definitely not, which I didn't expect it to be. I guess that's why I don't mind
3 episodes. I just haven't went back and watched anything.
Yeah.
Anything more on it. Couldn't do it.
Yeah, I wasn't giving Disney no more money. So I watched that first episode, and I was like, what the frick is this?
I'll see now, which, my sister pays for Disney Plus for me, but if she didn't, I would because... They got the old collections on there, and I'll pay $12 a month to be able to watch the old Disney.
Just say I can't.
You know what they should do is go back to their Disney Plus and stuff and look at the stuff that gets watched the most. I'm like, okay, we need to learn from this right here, not remake it into a live action. Just we need to learn.
That's the only answer they got.
Yeah,
this made a ton of money. Everything. Let's remake it all over again.
Live action.
I don't have a problem with that, just because it gives you an option.
It's lazy though.
Yeah, but at least I don't care if it's lazy. It gives me an option. When it comes to watching Aladdin, I love both Aladdins. I like the original Aladdin, animated, and I like the live action one. And now, because there's both, I can watch one then the other. And now I get to watch Aladdin twice, but it's technically different. So I'm probably fine with the live action ones, even if they're not good. At least it's an option. If somebody prefers live action over animated, watch the live action then.
Still lazy.
Just make the live action the same as the animated, and we're good.
Well, they did with Beauty and the Beast. If I'm not mistaken, it was word for word.
Pretty much.
You could
There may
start
have
them
been
at the
a
same
few
time,
things, but pretty much.
it was pretty much word. And a lot of people say, well, why would you do that? Because it's a classic.
Mm-hmm.
Why mess up a classic if it was making money? Then you're just gonna make it live action. Just keep it like that.
Lion King was basically the same movie twice.
It was.
I couldn't see him doing it with live action.
They did, but
Yeah, but
it's I wouldn't call that live action. They call it live action.
Yeah, it was
And the
computer
lines,
generated.
yeah, the lines
man.
look real, but it's still CGI. It's not real lines. Yeah. My only problem with that movie was they had a different singer doing the songs, and it just wasn't as good. The songs wasn't. The movie was, it was a Lion King movie, and I liked the look of the lines. I liked the realistic looking lines, but the songs wasn't the same. That was my only problem with that.
I'm not saying they're horrible movies. They're just not.
They're not.
They're
not.
not standout movies because
They're not supposed to be.
you already had one.
Right. They're not supposed to be. Like I said, I look at them as
No,
just.
they're just
an
money
option.
grabs. Is all it is.
yeah. Spaceball 2s is in the works.
Too long ago.
That's what I was gonna say.
Too long ago. You can't do that kind of comedy anymore.
Nope, but like everybody else goes, they can't think of nothing original, so they try to dip back into what was going good.
Oh,
then.
they'll make a horrible, sad, pitiful
Yeah, 'cause
version.
it's not gonna have the same characters in it.
No.
You can't because half of them's dead.
Well, few of them are, yeah.
Yeah,
But that kind of I don't know. I don't think it would sell. Maybe, but what are they gonna do, man? Do like a Empire Strikes Back version of Spaceballs? I mean, okay, but that's. I don't know. I don't see it.
I don't even,
Maybe I'm wrong.
now when it comes to Star Wars stuff I'll still sit back and watch is the parodies that they do, where you got the two clone soldiers,
Oh, I've seen those.
and
Mm-hmm.
they're doing this the goofiest stuff in the world. That right there is entertaining as hell to me.
But man,
I
that
couldn't
stuff's
tell
not
you.
even made by Disney. That's
Oh, I
just
know.
independent people made that. I'm assuming.
And I laughed my ass off at watching
Mm-hmm.
that.
But just Disney produced stuff is just rehashed. Like I said, I cannot think of the last good movie they made. Moana was good. I liked Moana.
Yeah, that was good.
And guess what they're doing?
Make it a live action.
Live action, which, I mean...
But like I said, I'm fine with that. Even if the movie's not
it's
good,
just lazy.
even if the movie's not good, I don't care if they're making that. I would prefer them make that over the Star Wars stuff they're doing.
Yeah, well, they like I said before, they saturated the market with Star Wars. Star Wars was so good because you had a little bit, then there's a big break in between, and then all of a sudden it's coming back out again, and there's a big hype for it. But I mean, good God, how many TV shows and movies have they come out with it since they bought it?
Oh yeah, there's a ton.
Look what they did with Marvel.
Yeah,
I mean, they dropped this show and this show and this show and then this movie and this movie. I haven't watched the Marvels yet.
Neither have I.
Because
I've
I've
had
got
it-
no interest in it.
I've had it downloaded for months now and have not watched it.
Man, I sat through Love and Blunder, and I can't do that again.
I watched it in theaters.
I did too.
Ugh,
I don't feel as badly about it as you guys did.
it was garbage.
They made him stupid, dumb as shit in it,
Mm-hmm.
which they kept making him dumber as the series went on.
Oh,
When
they
he
did.
first on there, I liked his character. Yeah, he was the dumbass who thought he was stronger than everybody and he could do what he wanted.
Well, it
He
was a
got
funny
humbled.
gimmick during like Ragnarok, which was a great movie. But then they did Love and Thunder, and I don't know, man. It's just bad. It was so bad.
I didn't like the fact they made him an idiot. There's all kinds of funny parts in it. Laughed my ass off when I was in the movie theater watching it, but really wasn't that good.
I didn't like it at all.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange,
Never even
Multiverse
watched
of
it.
Madness, bad movie.
See, now that one again, I liked Love and Thunder, but I see what people say about it and why a lot of people don't like it. But the Multiverse of Madness, I don't I didn't hate that movie nearly as bad as you do. And I
don't know which one I hate more, that or Love and Thunder.
Damn.
It walks the same line.
I don't see them as similar movies at all.
No, they're just equally as bad.
I don't see that either though.
One is equally as bad as the other one.
Like I like Love and Thunder, but I would objectively it's a worse movie than Multiverse of Madness. I
hold them in equal crappiness.
To me, Multiverse of Madness is way more like blockbuster style movie, and it's a better movie.
Now the last good
doesn't mean I like it more, but it's a better movie.
The last good MCU movie
was Black Widow.
Got to be Black Widow, man.
Yeah,
and
the last
watched it.
Oh, watch that one.
The last good show was Hawkeye.
Hawkeye, definitely.
Yeah.
I watched that.
Oh yeah, both of those are excellent, and you really need to watch one. You have to watch Black Widow before you watch Hawkeye.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're not going to understand the last 3 or 4 episodes of Hawkeye.
And you really need to watch Black Widow.
Yes, that movie is so good.
And Hawkeye plays right in. It follows up real good with that.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the last two. That's the last good movie and TV show, which Hawkeye was just a long movie.
It was. Yeah.
It's broken up into episodes, but it's a movie.
To be fair, it's only like 6 episodes long to begin with, and each episode's like 40-some minutes. So it basically is just one long, like 3.5-hour movie.
Yeah.
If you do like I do and just watch it all at once, it's basically one long movie.
So those were the last good things that Disney made as far as the MCU goes. Haven't watched the Marvels. I might eventually. I haven't yet.
I know Disney's making a new Descendant movie. I'm a little excited about it. The Descendants. That was like a Disney Channel. We started off with Disney Channel movies. They were the
descendants of the
villains.
The villains from the classic Disney movies. Yeah, those were okay.
Yeah, they're making a new one. Now, it'll probably be bad just based off what Disney's been doing.
Those characters, they can't use the same kids. Because those kids aren't kids anymore.
Now it's going to be like the kids of different villains.
Well,
so,
I mean,
I don't know.
Probably all right for a watch.
I'm going to find out. I'm going to watch it when it comes out. But I've got my expectations are set low. So if it's not good, unlike you guys, I'm not going to just kill it. It'll be like, it wasn't good.
Hey.
But if it's good, it'll be like, hey,
finally,
a good one. I agree with that. I'm just not going to keep harping on, no, it's terrible, man, it's terrible. I just, we said before, if I don't like something, I just don't like it, and I just go on. I had
Again.
Doom 2. I knew. I was getting ready to say, because literally Jason sent me a meme today about Doom 2, and I was like, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I just went on.
Did he actually watch it?
I don't know if he's seen it or not. He didn't tell me. He just sent me a meme about it because, again, he listens to the podcast, so he knows how much you hate it.
Oh, I hate it with a passion. The first one had me like, oh, they're going to be right along with it. It's going to go good. And they flipped the script on me. These mother... I'll keep it kind of PG.
I haven't watched it yet.
Just want to grab that
watched
dude
the
by
first
the throat
one.
and slap him a couple times.
I haven't watched the second one yet.
21 hours of already pre-made script right there. You could have went right through it. And it's like, he's like, well, I'll take the names off of this, but I'll do my own shit. Now, visually, I love the ornithopters because it was hard to try to picture them in your head with the description they give you. But as soon as you see their version of it and you listen to the book, like, oh, that's exactly what it should have been.
I had a pretty good description in my head of them from the book because there's a Pokemon that looks a lot like that. And literally, which I watched the movie first, so maybe that's also why I had a good description. So I watched the movie, then I listened to the book. And as soon as I watched the movie and saw what the ornithopter was like, then listened to the book and heard it described, I went, that's the Pokemon. That's Flygon. It just sounds and looks like a Flygon. So
a Flygon.
That's the name of the Pokemon.
You know how I feel about Pokemon.
Yeah. I love Pokemon.
I can't down Pokemon because I used to watch it growing up.
I don't care for the shows and movies. The video games. I love the games. I could care less about the shows and
I've only
movies.
ever played one of the games. I couldn't tell you which one it was.
Yeah, I'm all about the games, not the shows and movies.
I like the
I thought
cartoons that come
Pokemon
on.
had an interesting premise, man. Let's capture these wild animals and stick them in a ball and keep them captive until we just want them to come out and fight, and then we put them back.
Yep.
Yeah.
And heal them up after they get hurt so they can fight again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
We're never actually killing them.
that's kind of dark, don't you think?
Well, you want to make it seem even darker? When they stop and they eat meat and stuff, have you ever seen a regular cow on there?
No, that's a Miltank.
Yeah, they're just eating Pokemons.
Yeah, Miltank
Damn,
is
see, you just went darker.
Miltank
I
is
even
the cow
go darker
Pokemon.
than that. Cars. Tater is a mass murderer.
What?
He works at a junkyard.
Oh, Mater.
Mater, yeah.
You said Tater.
Tater is
Tater.
Good
I'm thinking
God.
Tater, Mater.
Cars.
Well,
I not remember this character.
well, Mater.
Okay.
He works at a junkyard
No, yeah.
selling parts
I see where you're going.
off of living cars that just died.
I mean, what's the difference in an organ donor?
There's a big difference in the organ donor
So?
versus a car.
I'm just saying, you're saying, Mater's a car, and he's stripping other cars that are dead for the parts. That's no different than when a person dies and they've donated their body so that all their organs...
They donated their bodies.
Well, that's what happened in cars. They just don't tell you.
No, they just don't tell you.
Yeah.
I don't see them having donors cards.
Yeah, that's, you got to look at it that way. That's just the way Jamie's version of Pokemon, I don't look at it that way. I see it. It's clear as day, but I just don't look at it that way.
Yeah, you don't look at it that way until people start talking about it. And then you're like,
Well, now,
you
I
got a
love
point.
I like the Cars movies.
Never watched them.
Really?
Yep.
I don't
Seriously, you haven't watched them.
I don't understand.
Watch the first one, skip the second one, it's boring. Then watch the third one. Those are the only two you really need to watch. Second one, You watch it if you want to.
Yeah.
It's a spy story. You might like it.
No, I like the spy story.
It's like it's totally just a spy movie
Yeah.
made with cars.
It's completely different than the first and the third one.
James Bond's car. No.
The first and third one, and the third one's my favorite. But they're all really good. Well, the first.
They're really good, and they got
Yeah.
great soundtracks.
Yeah, Dad loved watching them.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't. It ain't that I couldn't. My kids had them. I was just always at work.
Give it a try sometime. But in Cars, man, where are all the people at?
There are no people. Cars are the people.
Right. But those cars have handles on the doors. Why?
Because the design artist didn't think about that.
Exactly. But I mean,
Yeah.
if you want to like deep dive in and get weird with it, man.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta
yeah.
think, where
You
are
want
all
really
the...
good? Why do they have doors?
Exactly. Where are all the people?
Well, to be fair, Lightning McQueen doesn't have a door. He's a race
True, he's
car.
a race car.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good movies, though. Good movies. Which, it doesn't surprise me anymore when you say, oh, I haven't seen that movie. There's so many times we'll be talking about a movie, and Jackie will be talking about it with us, and then he goes, yeah, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I haven't seen
How are you talking about it? It's like, oh, I heard this or this or this.
I go through my little rabbit holes on my YouTube, and like I've told y'all before, just from the stuff I watched on there, I can make soap, I can raise bees, I can make chapstick out of the beeswax and candles, and
You can
perfume.
de-shoe a horse.
I can put horseshoes on a horse. I can fix the cracks and stuff in there. Hooves on cows. I can tell you about the dermatitis and stuff that comes in there, eats onto them. The medicines you got to put on to fix it. Acrylic acid. Because salicylic acid, whatever the hell it's called. Then they got a copper spray that they spray on it. They wrap it up. They put blocks on there. Got some funky glue, but is some amazing glue. I've been tempted to see how much that stuff costs. Because it's like an epoxy that they put on there, and they literally take a torch, heat the hoof up with it, get all the moisture off of it. It's like comes in a caulking gun. They caulk it on there, stick a wooden block on it, and the wooden block will wear out before it pops off of there.
Man.
It holds that good. I was like, that's what I need.
I always use Gorilla Glue when it comes to gluing wood together. I feel like Gorilla Glue makes the best wood glue.
Do you moisten the wood before you use it? You're supposed to.
No. I haven't done it in a while, but last time I did it, I didn't know.
Yeah, if you read the back of it, you're supposed to wet both sides of the wood before you put the Gorilla Glue. It helps activate it.
I mean, it holds good anyway. So.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Just by itself.
But now that I know that, yeah, I'll have to do that next time. Make it hold even better.
Yeah.
Yeah, like take you a spray bottle with water and just spray both pieces.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It makes sense.
And clamp it, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, always clamp.
Because if you don't, it'll just blow itself apart.
Yeah.
It blows it apart. And if you don't clamp wood, because I watched, again, YouTube, there's a guy on there who was, everybody's talking about clamping wood. He said, I don't see what the big deal is. Me gluing it together and just sticking it should be good enough.
No.
So he does a bunch of tests and everything. He's like, I've been doing it wrong all these years.
Yeah.
Which I learned that in shop class. If they would
That's
took
what
it
I
out
was
of
going to
school,
say.
They don't have shopping class or in school anymore?
no, there's no wood shop or nothing anymore.
I mean, there was when I was in school.
They took it out.
I'm not surprised.
Which it's been 11, 12 years since I was in school. So.
Yeah, they took out wood shop. They don't teach cursive after a certain grade anymore.
Let's not teach anybody
Well,
any skills they could use.
Even when I was in school, we learned cursive up to 5th grade, and then we stopped. Because at that point, when I went to school, at that point, you were supposed to know it by then. So they didn't need to teach it anymore because you knew it.
You wasn't supposed to use it no more after that.
Well, when I was in school, you was.
Yeah, now that they don't even. My son can't read cursive.
I can read cursive. I still can't write it worth a crap. But that's because I learned it and then just never used it again. And I think that's why they've done away with it in school. Because, like I said, they still taught it when I was in school. And by the time you get to 5th grade, they expect you to know how to do it, and they expected you to just keep doing it on your own. Nobody ever did. Everybody just went right back to block writing.
Yeah.
Because that's just what we do. Cursive writing is just not really a thing. And I think a lot of that has to do with computers and, just typing in general. And that uses block letters. It doesn't, when you're typing, it doesn't come up in cursive unless you change your font to cursive, which nobody does.
Lord no.
So I think that's what's kind of pushed cursive writing or conjoined writing.
Cursive was more for when people wrote out everything by hand.
Right. Because it was a faster way to write.
You know?
Yeah, it's a faster way to write because everything's connected. And that was always the thing when I was in school, they always stressed, in elementary school, learning cursive is when you get to college and you're having to take all these notes, you won't be able to keep up writing in block writing. You have to write in cursive. By the time I got to where if I did go to college, I would have been
just turns on a recorder and records everything.
Yeah, turn it on a recorder or just type it all. And again, I would have done what you said. I would have turned on a recorder.
Reminds me of a movie I was watching. It starts off with everybody sitting in the classroom, and then slowly you'll start seeing a tape recorder here and there. And then next thing you know, you got a teacher up front, and there's just a bunch of tape recorders back there where all the kids were supposed to be at. They come in, sit the recorder, and just left.
Mm-hmm. Why sit through a lecture when you can just listen to it later?
Yeah.
Probably now, man, they just live stream them. Well, they do, actually.
I was about to say they do that now.
Yeah.
Yeah, with most colleges now.
You almost don't even have to go into class.
It's kind of an option now where you don't have to be at the lecture because it's live streamed and you can just, record it onto whatever device and then just, that's that. And to be fair, like when I was in school, I took AP Calculus and the teacher who taught it was he was brilliant. Mr. Weber. I don't know if you remember him. He's like 7 foot tall. He was a friggin' genius.
Weber or Webb?
Maybe Webb. I can't remember. He was like 7 foot tall.
Old guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Webb. That's the same math teacher that was there when I was in high school.
Anyway, he taught this, which, it was AP Calculus, so it's to be expected, but he taught this class very much like a college. Whereas, you come in every day and he would basically just, you would take notes on everything he was doing, and then, at the end of the semester, you took a big test. It was that simple. Like, there was no, taking, the end of the week, you got to take a test or the pop-up quiz or something. No, it's just literally, you just took notes all semester until the end, and then you took the semester exam. That's how the class went.
That's one way to do it.
Yeah. Now, because of that form, I ended up failing the class because first semester I did everything. I had like a 95%. Second semester, when you got to the end of the semester, it was also my senior year. I had decided I wasn't going to college, so I didn't do the class anymore. So I didn't go to school the last week. So I didn't take the semester exam, didn't turn in any of my notes
and everything.
So I got a 0% for that half. So 95% first semester, 0% second semester equals to a 63%.
Have you seen the new grading scale they come out with?
What's a passing grade? I'm curious.
20-some.
What?
20-some.
Well,
Yeah.
I could have graduated with honors.
I did graduate with honors, even with me throwing away the last week of school. Yeah, I would imagine that I'd say the scale probably doesn't go to 100 anymore then, if 25 is passing.
Dude, you get 25 for writing your name correctly, don't you?
Again, I would say the scale's changed. I could be wrong.
20-some
I don't know.
percent a passing grade?
I don't think it's percent anymore either, though. It can't be, because 25% is just, that can't be a passing.
That's a quarter.
Exactly.
I think it's in
That means you got 75% of them wrong. I could have been a valedictorian.
No, because there have been a lot of other people that's still above you. I would say it's probably not everywhere either. So you'll probably have a tough time finding it.
That's what I'm trying to find, because the first one that brought up, I guess it was just in West Virginia. That wasn't the one, but I was literally looking at it, and I was like, you would have to, on purpose, not turn nothing in. Nothing to get a failing grade. It was like 23 to something was a D.
Wow.
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, you got grandkids, Jamie. You just have to...
Yeah, I have no idea what the grading scale is. Not a clue.
Ask one of them. Just find out.
Well, they're still in grade school, too, so it's probably like not... They still do letters, I think. It's like A's, B's, C's.
Well, I didn't know how old your oldest grandkid was. Which, I mean, I know they can't be that old because your kids are my age. So.
Yeah, they're still in grade school.
Yeah, I don't know. I could probably talk to Jason. He would probably know. Just because he's still well informed and knows people that are still in school. I don't know anybody that's still in school. So, yeah, I have no clue the grading scale or any of that. I just know if 25 is passing, it's got to be a completely different scale now. And it doesn't go by, like, percentage.
Well, I wouldn't. Well, maybe it does, man. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly.
Which, even when I was in school, I never understood the whole, like, the way the GPA scale went to, like, 4. Or technically went a little past 4, but I never understood that. It's like, why not just make it, the percent, which is what we're getting anyway. So, if I've got, like, a 95% in 4 classes, why is my GPA like a 3.7, 3.8? Like that just, I didn't understand that scaling. I never did. Never tried to, but never understood it.
Yeah, I don't know. Not a clue.
Well, you definitely didn't know it.
California parents. In
What?
California,
That explains it.
an F is a 0 to a 24. 24 to a 44 is a D.
Well, it does go to 100 then.
44 to 64 is a C.
Which is California, so it doesn't matter.
64 to 84 is a B. And 84 to 100 is an A.
Well, if that was the case, I would have had an A in literally every single class I ever took, except for that last
crazy.
semester of AP Calculus.
How the... It used to be anything below a 60-some was a F.
64%.
Now, to my credit, when I decided I wanted to pass something, I did.
To his credit, he had a bunch of people doing his homework for him.
No. Just in one class.
Just in one class.
Most of the time, I just didn't do it in any class. But since those people you're speaking of was willing to do it, I let them.
Well, I don't blame you one bit.
Nah, see, I never did anybody else's work. I would let people copy off me. I didn't have a problem with that, but I would never do their work for them. Like I said, I didn't mind one bit if somebody copied off me. Teachers are like, oh, don't let anybody copy off of you. When they'll get to a point where they don't know it, and now they're going to fail because you let them copy. You're like, I don't care. If they fail, they fail. Oh, well.
Yeah, it's on them.
Yeah, I've done my work. I'm done. If they want to see my paper, here, look at it. I don't care. I know one class, me and a friend, we had a good system. It was a history class. And, it's history, and we both liked history, so we knew all the answers and stuff. So anytime the teacher would give us, like things to fill out or, tests to take, I would do one half, he would do the other half, and then we'd just swap and copy each other. So that, we got done real quick because, I would do like, if it was a 4-page thing, it's like, okay, I got the first 2 pages, you do the last 2 pages. And then we just swap and copy.
That's one way to do it.
Yeah. And because, we knew the stuff, it's like, normally you'd be like, you change one of your answers from mine, I'll change one of my answers from yours. That way we don't end up with the same. For us, it's like, we're getting 100% no matter what. So just copy exactly what it is. We're not getting these questions wrong. So, yeah. But we only done that in one class. Anyway, we've been going for almost 2 hours now. So,
dang.
Yay!
I believe it's time to call this podcast.
It's time to go make a cup of coffee.
Yeah, for some people.
Hmm.
For other people, it's time for a new bottle of water.
Oh.
But until next week, later.